Well, hello, beautiful Vermonters, inside of Vermont and outside of Vermont. So I have set up both of my tablet and my computer so that you can follow along with me and see the images of the birds today. We're going to go through maybe the first 10. Maybe we'll go a little bit longer, but we'll see how long that takes of the Vermont Birds by the Bird Advisors. They're giving us a free chart. And you know, on here they have a free printable worksheet for you too. Let's see if I can show it to you before we even get started. So I'm going to turn this around so you can see it really well. There we go. Okay. And let's see, we'll go back up here and print your free, it's saying, yeah, you got it. Yep. Print your free worksheet here. Let's see here if it shows. This is the worksheet. So the worksheet is actually giving you images of what each bird looks like and a little check-off box if you have seen the bird. And this is lovely because I'm going to be printing this out and using it, and I'll go through it with you, maybe together. I would love to hear from you and find out what birds you've seen in Vermont. So anyway, the very first bird is the American goldfinch, and they show us a pair right here with the bright color yellow and black wings and the beige brown. That's the female. So let's look here what it says, because we know that the males, they get the bright, beautiful colors. But the American goldfinches are popular birds, with the males being bright yellow and black in coloring in the spring. And the females are a duller brown. They're probably duller for protection, right? Their length is about 4.3 to 5.1 inches. They weigh a mere 4.7 ounces, and their wingspan is 7.5 to over 8. Look at that, 8.7 inches. Isn't that lovely? That's wider than I would think, but the American goldfinches are found in North America and usually residents all year. And they breed in Canada and the Midwest to the southern United States. They can be found in the weedy fields, overgrown areas, foraging for sunflowers, thistle, and aster plants. Now, we have all three of those here, which would explain why I always see them in the summer especially. They are also common in suburbs, parks, and backyards. Now, to attract the goldfinch to your backyard, they suggest to plant thistles and milkweed. And you know, milkweed is super important for the butterflies also, whose numbers have gone down greatly. But the American goldfinch will visit most bird feeders and prefer sunflower and seed and Niger seed. So I have put out more songbird seed, and that has attracted many of the beautiful little birds around here. The pigeons and the doves totally get their food, but the little birds come around more now. So the second is the black-capped chickadee, and this is the most adorable little bird. I did some drawings of Vermont birds, and chickadee is one of them, and I am going to share those pen and inks with you in soon, very soon, in one of these videos. So the black-capped chickadee. They're very common. They can be spotted all year in Vermont, and they appear in 49% of the summer checklists and 60% of the winter checklists. I'm surprised that those numbers are half or a little over half. I would think it would be more up to 70 and 80 because I always see the black-capped chickadee. So it says here it's a cute little bird with a big round head and a tiny body. These birds will happily feed at backyard feeders and investigate everything, including you. And I'm going to take a sip of my coffee here. They have black caps, beaks, white cheeks, and gray on the back, wings, and tail. This is true, what they said here. I mean, chickadees are not that afraid of humans. They are the most trusting, most beautiful, adorable little bird. Sparrows are like that too. They seem to really get to know you, and they're not afraid to know you. So the length of the black-capped chickadee is 4.7 inches to 5.9. It weighs 3 to 5 ounces, and the wingspan is between 6.3 and 8.3 inches. So it's a little bird. Black-capped chickadee does not migrate and can be spotted in the northern half of the United States and Canada. Of course, we're so close here, especially northern Vermonters. We're right on the border. Our kids were raised going on field trips over to Canada. So the birds probably just fly back and forth on the border, probably. You can find them in forest, open woods, and parks. Black-capped chickadees eat seeds, berries, insects, spiders, and soot. I'll tell you what, the fact that they eat the insects and the spiders, I definitely want the black-capped chickadee around. We do need our insects for the ecosystem, yes, but I don't like them at my door. Attract black-capped chickadees. This is how you attract them. Soot, and you can get those. You can get soot at Walmart for like $1.97, a block of it with the seeds in it. Sunflower seeds, peanuts, and or peanut butter. Now, with the peanuts and peanut butter, they're suggesting to put out there. The only thing I would raise caution to on that is, maybe have it in a feeder that is going to guard against the little mice, or if you have chipmunks and squirrels, because they love the peanut and the peanut butter, and it will bring around your little varmints. But it depends if you want them around or you have a separate feeding station for them. They will even feed from your hand, and they are often one of the first birds to discover the new feeders. They will also use nest boxes, especially if you fill them with wood shavings. I will tell you, I cannot wait, because right now I have been doing a little research on using all recycled materials to make little nest boxes and little bird houses. And I will be bringing you along with me on that. Now, I may end up putting a separate channel called an echo channel, because I want to do my bonsai. So we'll see where we're going to put those, but those are coming. So, and it just says one final note. You should find out all about the other, sociable and inquisitive birds. So here's the American robin. Now, I don't know about you, but we have tons and tons of worms that come up onto the grass, the sidewalk, even up on my porch when it is pouring rain. Now, I've never seen them come up onto the porch until the last year. They usually are on the sidewalk, the pavement, the grass, but I saw them this past year up on the porch. I do not know what that means. Maybe you do. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Is there an overabundance of them? Why would they come up on the porch now? So American robins are usually spotted during the breeding season in Vermont, so which is very soon we will see them. But they can also be spotted all year. They occur in 60% of the summer checklist and 10% of the winter. Yeah, I totally believe 10% of the winter, because I see them, I'll start seeing them very soon now and all through the summer. I hardly see them, if at all, in the winter where I am. Up here in Williston, Vermont, Okay, so American robins are a common sight, and they love to eat earthworms. They have black heads and backs and the red and orange breast. They tend to roost in trees in the winter, and so you're more likely to see them in your backyard. Now, I'd like to add to that. I see them on the ground a lot. Granted, they do probably go to bed at night over in the trees, but I see them all day long hopping on the grounds. American robins are residents in the lower 48 states of the western, in the lower 48 and the coast of western Canada and Alaska. Those that breed in Canada and inland Alaska move south for the winter. American robins can be found in many habitats. Their habitats are typically woodlands, forest, mountains to fields, parks, and lawns. They eat earthworms, insects, snails, and fruits. Now, I'd like to add to that a little bit. We have a lot of construction and buildings going up here in Williston. This has been going on for years, building after building. And so these robins, they used to live in the field out here. So now they're hopping around more or less on the pavement, the little bit of lawn patches, and down around the ponds. That's where I'm seeing them. So the habitat might be changing a little bit for them to live. So to attract the robins with the backyard, to attract your robins, you need sunflower seeds, soot, peanut hearts, fruit, and meal worms. So it's not saying exactly what kind of fruit, but and so I would test out, or maybe we could do a little research on exactly what kind of fruit. I would say apples are always a safe bet. And it says, and mealworms. I have thrown mealworms out to the birds here, and they don't like them. They don't seem to do anything with them. Anything that I test, I have researched a little bit, but I'll always put just a little bit out to begin with and see if it goes. Platform feeders are the best, or food scattered on the ground. I do the food scattered on the ground, and my little strategy is, because I used to just get the pigeons when I had a bird feeder, the pigeons were pushing the little tiny birds out. And so I scatter it on the ground. And I also did a little research that the pigeons have 4 hubs a day. Now that means that they are going to 4 different places a day, and which is good because I don't want them here all day long. I want the little songbirds to get their share. So what happens now is the pigeons will feed about 10 minutes, not very long at all, and they leave. And the songbird feed that I'm putting out there, the seeds scattered, leaves the little songbirds to be able to get their food. And they're all back and forth all day long, and it's just lovely. So also try planting native plants that produce berries, such as juniper, sumac, hawthorn, and dogwood. We have dogwood out here. Song sparrow. Look how adorable that little sparrow is. Song sparrows are frequently spotted in Vermont. We have lots of them here. They are more common during the breeding season, March to October. I have had them all winter, I will tell you. They appear in 52% of the summer checklist and 2% of the winter. So I'm totally going to be doing my checklist because I have them all winter. Song sparrows are not as remarkable looking. Oh, I think they're adorable. But these predominantly brown-streaked birds use their almost constant song to attract their mates in the spring and summer. So they are about 4.7 to 6.7 inches. They weigh about 0.4 to 1.9 ounces, so they're tiny little things. The wingspans are 7.1 to 9.4 inches. Isn't that amazing, considering the size and the weight? They're just lovely. Song sparrows live all year in the northern United States. These that breed in Canada migrate to the southern United States. They can be found in open, shrubby, and wet areas, often perched on low shrubs, singing. They're often found in the backyard feeders. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. Song sparrows eat a wide variety of insects and plants, including beetles, caterpillars, midges, spiders, and earthworms. So they will also eat buckwheat, sunflower, raspberries. That was a new one. I didn't realize they ate raspberries. Wild cherries, blackberries, wheat, and rice. So they eat quite the variety. To attract these sparrows to your yard, you want to put some black oil sunflower seeds. Now they do have bags of just these seeds. If you are interested or you're new to getting into feeding the birds, they have just sunflower seeds. And then they have a mix. They have sunflower seeds with the cracked corn, because it says they eat cracked corn too. Niger, if I'm saying that correctly, and platform feeders. So now it brings us to the beautiful blue jay, who's somewhat aggressive, quite the sharp little bird. I'm going to be honest with you, I've seen no blue jays at all up here in Williston, where I am at. So it says they can be found all year long, 43% of them in the summer, and the winter. So when I lived in central Vermont, we just had family after family after family of blue jays. But up here in the last 10 years, I haven't seen any. This is just not their environment for them. Blue jays are a large songbird with a blue upright crest, blue and black backs, white undersides. Their length is about 9.8 to 11.8 inches. Their weight is 2.5 to 3.5 ounces. And their wingspan, look at that, over a foot, 13.4 to 16.9 inches. That's remarkable. So blue jays live in the eastern United States and southern Canada all year. Some of them migrate to the west for the winter, but not very frequently. These are the most noisy birds that travel in family groups, eating acorns when available. They can be found in, acorns. That's why we don't have any here. They can be found in forests, mainly near oak, as they eat acorns. They can also be found in backyards near feeders, and as well as acorns, they eat insects, nuts, seeds, and grain. They may also take eggs from nests or take nestlings. Yeah, they're the little bandit. Blue jays are large birds, and they prefer to fly in and grab peanut and sunflower seed and take it away to feed. They prefer platform or tray feeders. That might be another reason I don't see them, because I do spread it, and I do one feeding in the morning. If it's frigid cold, because I also provide water, I will keep the water up all day, and I will give them a second feeding. However, that's only when it's freezing cold. Now we're getting to spring. I will start pulling back a little bit, but I will keep the water fresh every day. Attract blue jays to your backyard with peanuts, sunflower seeds, and soot. They prefer these on tray feeders. Okay, now here we go. American crow. I love the crow. We have a number of families of crows up here all year long. And they talk to each other. They're very strategic. They will move in and out of this territory. Let's see what it says about the American crow. So American crows can be spotted all year in Vermont. They're 42% in the summer checklist and 39% in the winter. I'm surprised. I would think those numbers would be higher. American crows are large black birds with a hoarse cawing sound. And if you listen to them, and we're going to do a special video on them because they have distinct sounds, calling, where almost like just a whole different language going, a language going on with different syllables. So their length is about 15 to 20.9 inches. Their weight is 11 to 21.9 ounces. Their wingspan is 33 to 39.4 inches. And think about that. That's 3 feet. 3 feet. I mean, and some of these are bigger than my little dog Sophia I used to have. She was a Chiweenie, and we used to have crows sometimes follow us on our walk. and they would be sitting on the grass, and they were way bigger than her. So American crows are residents all year in the lower 48 and Pacific Coast, Canada and Alaska. Those that breed in Canada and northern Midwest migrate to the south for winter. They are common birds, and the most common habitats are treetops, woods, fields, beaches, and towns. Yeah, they love the treetops. They eat most things. And so I wonder if they're going to call them scavengers, because they do eat most things. And they can see you from afar on top of it. And they usually feed on the ground, eating earthworms, insects, seeds, and fruit. They also eat fish, young turtles, mussels, and clams. And they even eat eggs, nests, and nestlings of many species of birds. In the winter, American crows gather in large numbers of up to 2 million crows to sleep in noisy communal roosts. Yeah, in New Hampshire, I used to go to New Hampshire in my working days. There were communities, vast communities, in just these vast areas. You could hear them crowing as you're driving up the street. So they do. Now, I've only seen small families of them here. So to attract the crows to your backyard, scatter some peanuts, but they can become a nuisance as they're attracted by garbage or pet food if it's left out. So the other thing is crows will steal out of your truck, bed of a truck. I have seen them do it. Now here's a cedar waxwing. Look how beautiful this bird is. Isn't that just lovely? Cedar waxwing. I don't see them a lot here. I've seen them a few times. But the cedar waxwing can be seen. Oh, there you go. That's why we don't see them, because they're in southern Vermont all year. But they're more frequently spotted in the northern part of the state from June to mid-October. I've seen them infrequently. They are recorded 17% of the summer checklist and 3% of the winter. Cedar waxwings are elegant social birds, and they're pale brown on their head, their chest, and their crest, and which fades to a gray on their back, wings, and tail. As an artist, I look at this type of bird as a kind that you can do paint a beautiful watercoloring of. So their belly is pale yellow and bright yellow towards the tail. They have a narrow black mask over their eyes and a bright red on their wing tips. So they're just lovely. Their length is 5 to 6.7 inches. The weight is 1.1 ounce. I would think that they'd weigh a little more than that. And their wingspan is 8.7 to 11.8 inches, so almost a foot wingspan. Cedar waxwings remain all year in northern half of the United States. Those that breed in Canada migrate to the southern part of the United States. They make a high-pitched call and can be found in berry bushes, woodlands, and streams. So now here they're on each of these, they're giving us the sound of the bird. So I'm going to scroll back up to the top, and we're going to end this with the 8th bird, and we'll continue this after, but we're going to listen to what each of these birds sound like. And so there's 8 of them to go through. So let's start up here. And we'll end the video like this, listening to the sounds of the birds. So this is the American goldfinch. Okay, now we're going to listen to, I'm sorry if my hands are in the way here. Now we're going to listen to the chickadee. Here's the chickadee. Isn't that beautiful? We'll stop it there. And the next one we'll go to is the American robin. These are sounds we hear all the time, but we may not actually know what we're listening to. That's the American robin. They give a call here. Let's do this one. Okay. So the next one is the song sparrow, and you're going to love this. And this is the song sparrow call. Okay, now let's see the next one is the blue jay. This is the blue jay call. So that's the blue jay. And, you know, sometimes when we hear birds, we could mistake them easily for a different bird unless we get really familiar with their sounds. I know I do sometimes. So this is the American crow. That's the American crow. And when you listen to them at length, you'll hear them using different variations of their tones, of their voices. Now this is the cedar waxwing. Let's see. Here we go. Sounds like it's very low. There we go. It's almost like a low whistle. So that's the cedar waxwing. So if you hear like a low whistle out there, you know there's one close by. Oh, and I love the mourning dove. This is my favorite. So did we go that far? Well, let's do the mourning dove. Anyway, we'll end with the mourning dove. How's that? And then we'll start with the mourning dove on the next video. This is lovely. I think we had, actually we need to go up to the blue jay. So we actually